We've just received the craziest new Squid Game Season 3 leak yet. 2 animated videos that explains exactly how the 4th game, Jump Rope, actually works. I rewatched the clips 92 times, and my only question now is, how the hell is Gramps going to survive the challenge? Let's break it down frame by frame. At the start of this first clip, we see Cheol-soo standing tall, holding the massive rope. The rope is swinging slowly, giving players a few seconds of silence and anticipation. Suddenly, a calm but eerie voice comes from the speaker system and says,
"게임을 시작하겠습니다."
The moment those words are spoken, the camera cuts to a close-up of the doll Cheol-soo's face, followed by a quick shot of Young-hee, the original doll from Season 1 and Season 2 from Red Light Green Light game, standing beside him. Then the traffic light turns green. The rope immediately starts swinging at a fast pace, and a childlike song begins to play through the speakers. This is the theme song of the Jump Rope game. Knock knock, who's there? It's the little kid, please come on in. The camera cuts between both dolls with the rope rhythmically slashing through the air between them. The music continues, but here's where it gets really interesting. The lyrics seem to give direct instructions to the players. Little kid, turn around. Little kid, touch the ground. Little kid, lift one foot. Little kid, goodbye now. These lyrics likely aren't just a creepy background detail, they're the actual movements the players must perform in sync with the jump rope. That means while jumping, players also have to follow every instruction perfectly, turning around, touching the ground, balancing on one foot, and more. If they mess up, hesitate, or move out of rhythm, they're instantly eliminated. This adds a terrifying layer of difficulty. It's not just about timing the jump anymore, it's a full-body memory and coordination test, while under life or death pressure. Now, let's move on to the second clip. This one feels similar to the first but has a few key differences worth pointing out. It begins with a close-up of Young-hee, the iconic doll from Season 1 and 2, who is now the one swinging the massive rope. Unlike the first clip where both dolls were visible, this time we only see Young-hee. Cheol-soo is completely absent from the scene. As the rope swings faster and faster, the same unsettling jump rope song starts to play again. The lyrics repeat just like before. Little kid, turn around. Little kid, touch the ground. Little kid, lift one foot. Little kid, goodbye now. These commands are, again, likely meant to be followed exactly in sequence by the players. The way the clip is edited, it's clear that the focus is entirely on Young-hee. She's the one controlling this round, and her presence alone is enough to create tension. The rope movement appears even more aggressive here, suggesting the game is either in a more intense phase or has become more dangerous. Now let's talk about everything we know so far about the jump rope game in Squid Game Season 3 based on official clips, teasers, and trailers. This game looks like one of the most chaotic and intense ones in the series so far, and it's already got fans speculating on how exactly it works and who's most likely to survive it. First off, let's talk about the environment. The game takes place on a massive elevated bridge that appears to be floating in some void-like space. What's really interesting is how the bridge and platforms are split into 2 very distinct sides. One is a dark, night-themed area, and the other is bright, resembling daylight. This probably isn't just a stylistic choice, it seems symbolic. The night side is where the players begin, and it's full of dread, tension, and darkness, literally and emotionally. That's also where Young-hee is placed. The day side, on the other hand, is where Cheol-soo, the new doll introduced in Season 3, is located, and it appears to be the finish line of the game. Now here's where it gets more intense. The bridge isn't just a flat surface, it's split in the middle, meaning there's a giant gap that the players will have to jump across at some point. That alone makes this game significantly harder than a traditional jump rope game. Imagine trying to follow rhythm-based orders, jump over a swinging rope, and then also jump over a dangerous gap, all while knowing that one wrong move means elimination. Then there's the traffic light system, which seems to be inspired by the red light, green light mechanics from Season 1 and 2, but adapted for this new game. Here's how it works. When the light is green, players are allowed to move forward across the bridge while jumping and following the song's instructions. But when the light turns red, players have to freeze their forward movement. They can still jump and follow orders, but they're not allowed to make any progress across the bridge. This system forces players to take their time and make sure the game isn't over too quickly. It also increases the tension dramatically, especially when players are mid-jump or just inches away from the final platform. We also now know that players don't go one by one, instead groups of maybe 6 or even more play at the same time. This adds another dangerous layer: betrayal. When multiple players are on the bridge at once, jumping in sync becomes much harder, and the chance of someone messing up or pushing another player increases a lot. We even see a moment in the trailer where Gi-hun says, "What are you doing?" and someone replies coldly, "What do you think? I'm playing the game." That moment hints strongly at betrayal, with one player likely shoving another into the void or taking advantage of the chaos to survive longer. Who is that mystery voice responding to Gi-hun? It's edited in the trailer to be unrecognizable, but fan theories point toward characters like Min-soo, Myung-gi, or even a new player introduced in Season 3. These could be players who seem harmless at first, but turn out to be ruthless when it matters most. So now that we've broken down the environment, the dolls, the traffic light rules, and the betrayal element, let's walk through how the game likely plays out step by step. 1. Players enter the game area and line up, facing the massive rope in the bridge. 2. They'll likely be given a few minutes to prepare or talk with others, either to strategize or just brace for what's coming. 3. The first player steps up onto the bridge and the game begins. Young-hee and Kil-soo are positioned at each end of the rope and begin swinging it quickly. 4. The jump rope song plays during the game. The lyrics are extremely important because they're not just for show, they appear to be literal instructions that the players must follow. As each line plays, players must perform those movements in rhythm while jumping, which adds an extreme level of difficulty. 5. At certain points, the traffic light turns red, and players must stop moving forward while still jumping and following the song. When the light turns green again, movement resumes. 6. After some time, when there's enough distance, or maybe when the song restarts and the song says, "Please come on in," a new player joins the bridge. 7. The process repeats with more players entering, the song looping, and the rope swinging faster. 8. Players eventually reach the gap in the middle of the bridge. If they manage to leap across it, they continue toward Kil-soo and the end of the bridge. 9. Those who succeed reach the day side and beat the game. Those who mess up, they either get hit by the rope, miss a movement, fall during a jump, and are eliminated, possibly thrown off the bridge into the void below in one of the most brutal deaths we've seen so far. This game is incredibly intense, not just physically, but mentally too. It combines rhythm, memory, physical coordination, and even strategy, since you're not just trying to win, but also avoid sabotage. This is what makes Squid Game so compelling. It's not just about luck or strength, it's about survival under the most extreme pressure possible. Finally, let's talk about the players who have the highest and lowest chances of surviving the jump rope game. I'm not including players 007, 388, or 044 here, because I believe those 3 will die in the 4th game. So let's break this down by player, and I'll explain who's most likely to live or take a flying L into the void. First up, player 100, Jong-dae. Yeah, this guy's done for. He has no real physical ability for a game like this. He's older, he is obviously not the most athletic person, and he'd have a hard time jumping rope even at ground level, let alone on a massive high bridge. I'd give him a 0% chance of survival in this one. Next, player 120, Hyunju. She's strong, agile, and mentally focused. She's also still young enough to handle the physical pressure. I'd say she's one of the top contenders to survive. The only real threat would be someone pushing her off, but she doesn't seem to have serious enemies right now, unless the 4th game changes that. Overall, I'd say she has a 90% chance of surviving. Player 124. Nam-gyu is a weird one. I've said it before, he fits perfectly as a finalist, especially as a potential villain type for the end of the season. But in clips from the 4th game, he doesn't seem super confident. Even if he's still powered up on those Thanos pills, the height of the bridge might mess with him. He could hesitate, get dizzy, or lose focus. So I'm going with a 50-50 chance he's either making it through clean or falling off hard. Now let's talk about player 125, Min-soo. He's got the right age and probably just enough physical ability to make it. I don't think he's the smartest player, but this game doesn't require a lot of brain power, it's about coordination and focus. He might get nervous, but not in the way that would completely ruin him. I'd give him a 60% chance of survival. Next is player 149, Jumja. Again, like Zhongdai, she's on the older side and doesn't look like someone who'd thrive in a fast-paced, physically demanding game like this. Even though she seems clever, that won't help much when you need to jump rope across a giant deadly gap. So her chances are low, maybe 10% at best. Player 222, Junhee is another tough case. She's not in the right condition for this game at all. Even if she's no longer pregnant during this stage, she'll likely be recovering, weakened, and in pain. And although her actress said she might not play this game, like I always say, don't trust those interviews. They're meant to mislead us, get us speculating, and build hype. I still think she plays, and sadly she probably doesn't make it. I'd give her a 20% chance. Then there's player 333, Myungi. This guy is a beast. Physically strong, smart, and one of the most composed characters in the entire game. We've seen him stay focused under pressure, and he has no clear weaknesses in a challenge like this. He's 100% making it through this game. I'd honestly be shocked if he didn't. As for player 456, Gi-hun, we're not including him here because we already know he survives and becomes a finalist. This lineup feels pretty solid based on everything we know from the trailers, teasers, and character development so far. Of course, the show might throw in some wild twists, but logically, this is how I see the game playing out for these characters. What do you think? Do you agree with these rankings? Do you think someone else could unexpectedly survive or die in this game? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe or player 100 Gramps will win Squid Game.